So there's been a lot of news coming out about Cyberpunk Edgerunners 2, and no damper on that. Looks like it's going to be pretty hype. But there is one little thing people noticed with one particular character, and this character seems pretty cool, but yeah, that thing is with the English dub only, specifically the English dub. People noticed that Roman, this character, well, his VA is Valeria Rodriguez. You might remember this name because this is one of the most hated English VAs out there. She was one of those VAs that was a part of the failed Hoyoverse strike, where a lot of industry English VAs attempted to gaslight the internet and manipulate the Hoyoverse community to fight on their behalf against Hoyoverse, saying that they just wanted AI protections. But as we know, it was all a lie. And they were essentially trying to strong-arm Hoyoverse into signing a union contract so they could essentially, as many would say, monopolize the industry and get any non-union VA kicked off the job and replaced with their fellow union VAs. That's just the tip of the iceberg with all that. It was like a 3-month arc of non-stop craziness. But anyways, there was also Jacob Takanashi, who was a VA based out of Japan that replaced one of these other union VAs, John Pat Node. And Valeria got super mad at Jacob. A lot of these VAs were harassing Jacob Takanashi, saying horrible things to him. And when the Hoyoverse community and other people all across the internet called them out for their terrible, pathetic, petty, immature, just awful behavior, these VAs, including Valeria, then got very mad at the Hoyoverse community, which you can see right here, for example, in a post from a year ago titled, Valeria, the English VA of Sucrose, does not apologize for what she said, and she doubled down, tripled down, etc., etc. Again, this is just a super quick recap, the tip of the iceberg. And she was doubling down, tripling down, as you can see here, getting all mad at the Hoyoverse community. And all throughout the responses, people were talking about how she should be recast and how awful these English VAs are. Another one saying like, yeah, buy recast. She's definitely going to get recast sooner or later, and it's going to be her own fault for thinking it was a good idea to attack Jacob and for doubling down and not apologizing. War's over. They lost. Hoyo ain't playing no more. And sure enough, yep, Hoyoverse did eventually recast her along with a number of other corrupt English VAs. For example, this post with 3,400 likes on the Genshin Impact subreddit. Sucrose's English VA, Valeria Rodriguez, has been officially recast. She was just getting cooked all in the responses. People saying stuff like, I would say good riddance. She was and still is a mean and completely unhinged, terrible person. She got what she deserved. Also, her celebrating the fact that she got replaced just proves how unhinged both her and her fandom are. I'll show you that in a second. It was just clear, tremendous cope. Right below that, another top comment saying, LMAO, deserved. Now all that's left is Candace. If I recall, Candace's VA was Cher Kirby, and if I recall, I'm pretty sure they also replaced her. Dude, she was, I don't even know which VA was worse. I mean, they were all saying such unhinged stuff. The Candace thing was crazy, or the Cher Kirby thing was crazy. I think it was on her Blue Sky account, actually. She went on this crazy rant about all of this, but like, I can't recap everything. I'm just getting the memories now, dude. It was a crazy arc. That's right, though. Looking back into this, that's right. Cher Kirby did threaten to like resign or something, saying like F Hoyoverse. But I think her character was still voiced for a while, so people weren't sure if it was old lines or if she was just like lying about resigning or whatever. But ultimately, I'm pretty sure whether she resigned or not, or got fired, whatever the case may be, that yeah, she is no longer Candace, I should say. And similarly to Valeria, you can see Cher Kirby was also just seething at the Hoyoverse fan base here because people called out again the VA's lies and manipulations, that the Hoyoverse community didn't fall for their nonsense, and they just raged so badly. Here's another Genshin Impact subreddit post about Cher Kirby's insane rant that you just saw from her Blue Sky account. And people are like, quote, cool, go ahead and recast me too while you're at it, unquote. Be careful what you wish for. Showing where Cher Kirby had said, have fun with Genshin, you'll never work on anything else. She said to Jacob Takanashi, this Japan-based VA that I mentioned earlier, who replaced their friend John Pat Node. And important context, John Pat Node refused to work for like 8 months, if I recall. Like 8 months, he didn't do his job. Hoyoverse gave him 8 months to come back and actually do the work. That is like insanely generous. And eventually they replaced him with Jacob Takanashi. And as you saw, these VAs all freaked out. We'll take a look at a couple more responses really quick. Holy smokes. She's worse than Paimon and Kaching's VA combined. We're definitely going to be getting a new Candace. Paimon, of course, being ex-VA being Karina Becker, and Kaching's VA, now also ex-VA because she got replaced too, that being Kaylee Mills. And these English VAs, a part of this clique, this corrupt, weird, petty, immature, Pathetic click. They were harassing Jacob Takanashi. Some of them were like looking into his personal information and using that against him. Like Kaylee Mills trying to use his new house against him and like insulting him like that, bringing his wife into it. Other VAs threatening violence. They're like, you know what we used to do to scabs back in the day? And then he talked about how they would get like assaulted and stuff. Like, bro, these people are nuts. But anyways, going back to Valeria Rodriguez. Like I said, she was coping hard. After she got replaced, she made this tweet saying, freedom. Acting like that's what she wanted the whole time. It's like, okay, well, you could have left at any point in time and you didn't. Now you got replaced and you're like, oh, this is what I wanted. Totally. Freedom. Like, dude, immense cope. Immense, tremendous cope. But now, as you know, she is in the news once again because she is apparently now going to be Roman in the English dub of Cyberpunk Edgerunners 2. And people are already calling her out all throughout the responses. Let's check it out. Yikes. Everyone else was good, but really? The girl who was fired from Genshin for literally insulting the fans and showing a tweet that Valeria had made back during that situation that we just talked about. Keep in mind, the profile pic is different now because this is a recent screenshot, so it's changed in the screenshot. But this is a tweet from back then. Let's check this one out. What did Valeria have to say back then? My reaction to you dorks saying you're going to switch your game to a different language now? Laughing emoji. Okay, so this is just more cope. This is like the mask meme, right? Like holding the mask up, but she's like crying behind the meme. I'm not deleting my tweets either. Seeing the huge response, both hateful and positive, means that I struck a chord. I'm done being silent. It's 2024. We can all do better. Oh my gosh, the irony is palpable with that one. LMAO, they hired the woman who lied about employees to try and get them fired. Same people will tell you they care about workers' rights, and then it's like, if you're not a part of our clique though, yeah, you don't deserve a job. Oh yeah, because let's hire the person who harassed an innocent person, sent death threats to people who disagreed with them, recast ASAP lol, and start to look into who you hire, please. Clancy, I am so sorry that you have to share an anime with this VA, crying emoji. This person just saying LMAO, showing how they're blocked by Valeria, that's her @ right there. And I'm also in this club, although it's not very prestigious. A lot of people are. And some duality here with one user saying because of this alone, it's not worth listening to the English dub. But then other people getting excited because, oh my gosh, that's the VA for Venture in Overwatch, guys. Here's another one. Venture Overwatch and Venture my goat. Now, I do know some based people that play Overwatch, but a large portion of the community will just like eat any pandering modern audience slop that Blizzard shovels at them. There's like no thinking involved at all. Just consume, unquestionably consume. And then we got this one, quote unquote, Valeria Rodriguez reads the announcement, just freaking like shuts the fridge, walks away. Other comments like, it's okay, I watch in Japanese anyway. None of the SAG-AFTRA freaks are getting my view. I'll personally never watch English dubs, mainly because there's too many political activists, aka narcissists, choosing to be actors and actresses. But yeah, that's the latest. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.